jobless figures show a rise in unemployment in Scotland. Here with the details this lunchtime is our reporter David Kerr. David, how bad is it?
Well, Jackie, they're bad, but they're perhaps not as bad as some people had predicted. Here is the figure for joblessness in Scotland, 137,000. That's the number of people who are out of work but seeking employment. Compared to the last quarter, because these figures are done on a quarterly basis, that is up 11,000. Now, if we can compare that to the rest of the UK, to let us know how we're getting on against the rest of Britain, the Scottish unemployment rate is now 5.1%, whereas the rest of the UK is 6.4%. And it's figures such as that that are leading the Scottish Government to continue to make the case for optimism.
We have got now to put every effort into making sure that Scotland is actually working as well as it can with Scotland, sector by sector. That's the challenge. These people are going through enormous stress and strain. It's happening across the world. There's no comfort from that. But we've been sitting here where there's been a regulatory race at the bottom. And we now need to have a new beginning in Scotland, a new start to give these people hope.
And things aren't likely to get worse, I presume, David?
Well, the commentators and the politicians, including Jim Mather, all say the answer is yes. It's just a question of how bad. Obviously, these figures today only go up to December, so there's still more job losses, such as those at the Royal Bank of Scotland yesterday, that have still got to feed into those statistics. Some commentators, London-based economic commentator last month, predicting that the Scottish unemployment rate would go up to about 8.4%, would actually go above the UK average by the end of the year. It's a question of just seeing how bad it gets. To put it in some historical context, if you see that figure there, 5.1%, when you were a fledgling industrial correspondent back in the early 80s, child reporter, the figure was actually around about 11%, and at the high watermark of the Depression in the 20s and the 30s, it was actually around about 28%, 30%. So things historically are not as bad as all that, but it's still pretty bad if you're one of the people who've lost your job.
David, thank you. Well, more bad news now. The banking crisis